Welcome to Mama Rachel's Southern Cooking.
And today we're going to put together a meatloaf. I've got about 1.5 pounds of raw hamburger meat, and I've cut up 1 small onion, and I'm just going to dump it in. I'm putting in about a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic, chopped garlic. You can already get it pre-cut in a glass jar, it takes less time. I've got cilantro. Cilantro is a Mexican spice. In a way, it's similar and looks a lot like parsley in a way, but it's got just a little hint of heat to it. Probably about a 1/2 teaspoon of it. And salsa, I like to add a little salsa to mine. I'm going to put in probably right at about a 1/2 cup of salsa. And I'm going to add in about right at a 1/2 cup of ketchup, just regular ketchup. About a teaspoon of pepper, about a teaspoon of salt. I'm sort of a dumper and a shaker, so I'm not real good on measuring. And I'm going to use some breadcrumbs. Probably right at about a 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. And this kind here, you can get it, this is Italian style. It already has some seasonings in it. You can use regular breadcrumbs if you want to, or you don't even have to use breadcrumbs. You can also use crackers, crumb crackers up in it. But now I also mix oatmeal, quick oatmeal. And I'm going to put in, this is a 1/4 of a cup scooper. So I'm going to put about a cup in. It's 4 scoops, so that'll make a cup. And during the summertime, I always cut up my green peppers. If you have extra green peppers or something in summer, you don't know what to do with them, I always cut mine up and go ahead and dice them. That way for recipes and stuff, you always already have them ready. So I'm going to put in probably, green peppers really brings that flavor in the meatloaf. So I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of frozen chopped green peppers. And to help everything hold together, you should, for this batch, I'm going to use probably about 2 large eggs. And that will help bind your meatloaf together so it won't fall apart. Now I'm just going to use my hands. That's what makes food good. Just get your hands in there and get it messy. God gave us our hands to use for tools, and this is one of them. One of the uses for it. Just mix everything up really well. Make sure everything's good and blended. My husband and my children both love meatloaf. If you put too much breadcrumbs in it, you can make it dry. So if you think that it looks like it might be a little dry, you don't want it completely to where it's real dry. You don't want it too wet neither, but you don't want it too dry. So to me right now it looks a little dry, so I'm going to add a little bit more salsa in it. So altogether that probably made about a cup. Salsa gives it a good flavor where it's got a lot of seasonings and stuff in it. A lot of people don't like to put their hands in the food. If you don't like to do that, that's fine. You know, you can always get you some of the clear gloves and mix it up with the gloves if you can't handle the textures and stuff of how things feel sometimes. Okay, it's ready to be put in a pan. Just about a 13 by 9 baking dish. Now I'm going to spray the pan so that way that it will be easier to clean. I'm just using a butter spray. It don't have to be real good and sprayed. It'll work itself. Let's dump it in. Just mash it down in the pan to where it fits the pan. If you need one that's bigger, a bigger meatloaf, just add more hamburger meat, a little bit more of your onions and green peppers. If you need a bigger one. Place this in an oven on about 350. Let it bake for about 30 to 40 minutes. And what I do is I mix up ketchup and brown sugar. I mix that up together. But you don't put that on until it's almost done. And then you put it on and then put it back in the oven for about another 10 minutes to let that get good and caramelized. And we'll finish that part up after we cook the meatloaf. Welcome back, everybody. I've got our meatloaf out of the oven. Sometimes when you get your meatloaf out, according to what kind of hamburger meat you use, sometimes it have a lot of fat in it if you've used like a 70-30 hamburger meat. So if it does and it has a lot of grease in it, pour some of that out. Okay, I'm going to mix up for my topping. I'm going to use ketchup and brown sugar. And I'm just a dumper and a shaker, so I'm not real good at measuring, so I'm trying to do better with that. About a cup of ketchup. About 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Just mix it up real good as you can get. The sugar takes that tang out of your tomato. I'm going to taste and see if it's enough. Perfect. Okay, now put it on top of your meatloaf, just like that. Spread it evenly. Stick it back in the oven, in for about 10 to 15 minutes and let that caramelize some on top, and then we'll show you what it looks like when we get it. Okay, welcome back. The meatloaf's ready and I'm getting ready to get it out of the oven. Okay, there it is. And let's slice it and get us a piece out and see what it looks like. You can cut it in however bigger pieces you like. And there it is. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you remember to like and subscribe and share it so all your friends can see it. Thank you very much and God bless.